In this week's episode, I talk about Saturday, January 8th, where the sun conjuncts Venus retrograde, where this is the inferior cazimi. This is raw and pure, and how we're to burn off, feel the heat, and cleanse the exterior and purify the interior. So to hear more about this, tune in to this week's episode of Astrological Intentions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I'm your host, Alex Reevy, along with the merriest Mexicana herself, Sandy Reevy.
You're getting really good at these. I love this.
And it is episode 180, January 3rd. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we have a short week. Wednesday, January 5th, Venus retrograde, sextile Neptune.
A readjustment.
And Saturday, January 8th, Sun conjunct Venus retrograde.
Raw and her Venus point.
And it's been a light Talisman week and upcoming with none. However, we are going to be re-announcing our Talisman of the month. On the horizon, we have some free downloads for you, some webinars that are up and available for purchase, and our very special Talisman ceremony for the Venus Heliacal Rising. Then in our house, Sandy is packing for her annual Mexico retreat, and I am back from the holidays, so learn more about what's going on with us. Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
And so you finally know you control where you go.
Hello, merriest Mexicana.
I am merry about that, and not wary. I'm merry. I'm excited. Now, remember, I'm already there.
Right. However, we are recording this episode a little bit early than usual. I did come down with something, so if you're noticing that my voice is a little extra masculine, that's pretty much why. So yeah, this week is actually really light when it comes to transits and talismans. But I wanted to first go direct to all of you listeners and say Happy New Year. This is 2022, and we are really excited about it. Sandy and Susan did an entire year ahead forecast that's available on our page on Facebook. So check that out. Also, it is in our blog posts on our website, intentionbeads.com. So, and without further ado, let's get right into going direct. We have a 5-star review from a Molly, and she says, Sandy, you and Alex sent such a nice surprise. She's a subscriber and she just received her annual gift. I got your package today. What lovely gifts. And I especially loved the coloring mandala wheel on the backs of your stationery with your message. And you spoke of gratitude in your note. There is no greater gratitude mixed with growth and actual fun as when I get to spend that incredible one-on-one time with you every month. Mm-hmm. And the solstice equinox constellation bracelet workshop group times have been absolutely remarkable in making me think on the spot and to come up with and voice my own support and receive support from the group. My personal intentions have been tuned into the stars. They always mesh with what's happening. She says, Happy New Year to you and Alex, and happy, fulfilling, relaxing retreat as well.
Thank you, Molly.
That was a big message. And yeah.
With a big heart and a big smile. And I can just see her hands moving a mile a minute right now.
And so, yeah, everyone who is a subscriber with your astrology readings gets an annual gift at the end of the year. Yeah. And it's a thank you for sticking around and continuing to be a subscriber. So far, no one has left their spots. Everyone wants to maintain, their annual subscriptions. And you hand colored mandalas for each and every one stationary.
I know.
I thought that was so sweet and so.
It took me a year.
Intentional.
It was so intentional, and the devotion that I put toward that is, it's where my meditative power goes. Mm-hmm. So whether you use that for a bookmarker somewhere or turn it around and hang the note on your wall or, on your refrigerator. Although some of the stainless steel refrigerators don't do that.
Have magnets anymore.
But know that is a kind of an intense mandala of coming to the center.
Mm-hmm. So yes, of course, keep those messages coming. Thank you, Molly, for sending that in. It is well received with open arms and open hearts. So happy New Year to you, and we wish you a very happy and fulfilling, relaxing holiday. Let's get right into the transits, shall we?
We shall.
In the transits, we have Wednesday, January 5th, Venus retrograde sextile Neptune.
This is at 20 degrees of their respective. We've got Venus in Capricorn. Of course, she's retrograde. She's getting closer and closer to the sun. But here she's at 20 degrees of Capricorn, and she's making a beautiful sextile to Neptune at 20 degrees of Pisces. So this is the second of 3 passes. Venus will make another one. But the first one happened around November 30th. And I give you these dates to maybe look back in your calendar or in your journal to see what did you write right around November 30th, the 31st or December 1st? What was on your mind? What were some of the situations or occurrences that were happening for you? Because you have this day, Wednesday, the 5th of January, to make a readjustment of that. Because it's the second hit of 3. You will get the final and third hit February 25th. So if we look at this, are you overgiving? Are you under receiving? Where's this balance of the Venusian qualities of being so receptive? She's retrograde, so she's still an evening star, although she is so close to the sun we can't see her any longer.
Right.
But as soon as she crosses with the sun on Saturday, we'll talk about
she
that
starts
in a
with
minute.
Being the
she
Kazemi.
starts her morning her morning cycle in that moment. But you have 7 weeks to concept your new approach, what your new delivery is, and how you're accepting. Making sure you know what you're signing up for. Now this is really interesting because this is the day during our retreat, our Peace Train retreat,
right? That
will be at the Sweat Lodge.
Yes.
So interesting that the Venus, and it's a private one. I've arranged a private Sweat Lodge with a shaman. So it'll just be our group, which is all Venus,
right?
Is all women, and making this connection with this readjustment of going in and sweating, Neptune in water, going in and diving in, and whether we're crying or sweating.
The mist in those Temazcals are incredible. Sorry. I'm going to try not to talk because I can't.
This day was chosen for this purpose, to use this energy and to wander into what's possible, and then crying or letting go or sweating out or, and it's interesting. I'm just going to share the story that you had when you went to the Sweat Lodge, a month ago in Mexico, which it was about, the higher the higher you stood or the higher you sat was hotter, heat rises. So it was very hot there. In order to cool off or find possible breathable air, you had to get low. You had to get down. You had to
lie
get
down
onto
on
the
the
ground.
ground.
Yeah,
Right.
you had to bend over, get to the ground. And so this kind of reminds me too of, what is that readjustment where you're uncomfortable in order to go again, dive into the waters of finding out where you are stable. So interesting that this was going on during our retreat, and we are doing the Sweat Lodge in this exact day.
Yeah. It is. It's definitely a readjustment because it those sweat lodges do challenge you because it's not necessarily comfortable being in such a hot place, you know, where it's dark and you're uncertain. So let's move on to Saturday, January 8th, Sun conjunct Venus retrograde.
Raw and pure, baby. Raw and pure. So let's break this down. This is the inferior cazimi. You know, there is a superior cazimi when Venus is direct.
Okay.
This is not that.
Mm-hmm.
That will be in 9 months.
Right.
So she is birthing, because it's a 9-month period between an inferior cazimi and a superior cazimi. It's 9 months. So when I thought about it and, you know, was reconciling it, how do you go through a delivery and a insemination kind of at the same time, right? A 9-month period. But that's really what happens. Now, this is happening at 18 degrees of Capricorn at 6:48 p.m. So this is the place to burn off, to feel the heat, to cleanse the exterior, to purify the interior. Don't worry. This happens every, 19 months. Now, remember when I said 9 months plus 9 months, we get 18 months. So it's about 18 months and something. I just rounded it up, that we get to the inferior cazimi. So in order to aerate what's hidden underground, right? Where you remember when Dad used to do the aeration when the big plugs
in
the
big
yard,
plugs of like grass and dirt would come up.
would get air.
Me and the other kids in the neighborhood used to like throw them at each other, play games. It was fun.
So it's kind of aerating what is underground, like pop in some holes, right? Like let it out,
and poking some holes even in ideas.
Yeah. It's because it's like, come on, you have desires that aren't expressed, but are they still viable?
Right.
Get that soul a checkup. You need to take your soul. Now there is a car named Soul.
Right.
So if you have a soul, get your car in, but you also get your soul in for a checkup. This is an 8-year cycle of similar situations or similar themes that bubble up. Again, the plug bubble up to the surface once again. To what? To review. So this is the December 2013 through January 2014 was the last time we were in the Capricorn area where she and the sun are there at again. And this is what the 18 Capricorn creates, that Venus star point.
Right.
I'll be, I'm in class with Ariel Gutman right now, about to get my what do you call that thing?
Certificate
to teach the Venus star points and what that means in each of our own charts. I am teaching that during the retreat, and I'll be teaching that more in 2022.
Right. Well, this is going to be kind of a short episode because in Talisman times, we don't have any to discuss in the finished or the upcoming. However, I do want to re-announce the Talisman of the month to release, purify, and restore all that Venus is. And that is that special $222 price plus that $5 shipping credit. The Talisman of the month this month goes so well.
Well, they all do. I mean, I pick the Talisman of the month for the energy of the month, but you're right.
It goes so well with the retreat.
Oh my gosh. Come on. Pick this up. Pick this up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
So we should talk a little bit about the retreat too, because during this week you're hosting the retreat the whole time. So
by myself, and so one of the things Venus retrograde wants to do is, let go of codependencies. So it is one of the things I'm doing because you chose
so true
not to co-host with me, that I had to look you straight in the eye and go, no problem.
Right.
I am my age and I certainly can do things without you. I did it for 32 years. Or now, and we're adding to that now. So it's been
it's been good. You've been
So no, I'm calm. Well, and I too think that it's part of my Venus retrograde mantra that I've been doing in the morning and in the evening, I've been doing my Sanskrit, asking Venus to bring peace to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so what it has to do, though, is come through me, right? When you do your mantra,
Right.
it starts in the core. And if I'm saying it, I'm the core. And I think that has really helped me bring in I got this.
That's great.
I know. And you're so shocked when I said that the other day.
I was floored. I was so excited because, it's a big undertaking. You have a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of time frames. There's, a lot of logistics, but really you are so good at that. And you're returning back to the Kasatara retreat that we love and adore. They love and adore us back. So it's just such a great location to go back to.
Oh, are you talking about the 7 pages of itinerary?
Yes.
And then the 32 pages of handout?
Yes.
And right, and all the slides? And are you also talking about all of the hand personal charts that I've prepped?
Right.
Oh, okay. I got this.
You do. And it's just been, that preparing all of this, great information for everyone on the retreat.
And the group, I always wear my retreat talisman about I gather the perfect group.
Yeah.
And at the groups came some, I know that maybe 2 people had to drop off and then more people added. So I don't sweat that.
Right.
It's always the perfect group.
I do also want to announce, because this January is a lot about Venus, that now open for registration is the Venus Heliacal Rise Talisman webinar. Sandy, if you have talked to Sandy, she might have mentioned something to you about this, but this is...
And I just as a mention here.
Sure.
Anyone who has Venus Time Lord, and anybody that I'm talking to in the last couple months, I've mentioned it. So it is available now. Hop on and get in. So Venus Time Lords, anyone that has Venus retrograde in their chart, anybody that has a prominent Venus, which would be something that is the rising sign of Taurus or Libra, or having it on the 10th house cusp, like the midheaven, like I do. You have it on the rising, your Taurus rising.
Right.
So sign up for that. It is incredible.
And okay, so on the horizon, we have available for download now is the astrology webinar. That's the Benefics on the Move. That's Jupiter and Venus. They're both making their moves this year, and we want to share a little bit about the dynamic of this, what this means. That is all available right now. The link is in the description. Also, Sandy and Susan have gone through their astrology forecast for 2022, the entire year. It is great. I'm going to stop mentioning it after this week. However, make sure to head over there. It was a 2-hour long special, and it's going to be really great information for you to prepare for the new year. Finally, we have that talisman ceremony that's happening January 15th. And you're going to want to get in as early as possible, because there's a lot of prep work for these talisman ceremonies. This Heliacal Rise of Venus, you get 2 earrings. So a pair of earrings. A pair of earrings that have this really beautiful sterling silver drop that hangs around the bead. And the bead features this really beautiful red rose, the symbol of Venus. And you're there creating your affirmation, creating your intention along with this small intimate group. And we are going to be sending you all of your packets, all of your recorded video that Sandy will send to you with some personal guidance. And then at the end, it's that talisman ceremony where you say aloud your affirmation. And later on, we ship that talisman out to you so you can wear it, view it in the mirror, get complimented on it. So we're very excited about that. And again, that's January 15th, 11:20 a.m. That's Central Time. And if you are not able to be there for the live version, it will be recorded and it will be sent to you later. So you don't have to be there live. However, we would love for you to be.
Right. So if you can't be there live, still sign up in advance so that you get all the paperwork.
Right.
And that you give me your affirmation that I roll in at that exact moment. You'll hear me do that.
Yes. So let's move into our house. My goodness, we're already
It's
there.
a quick week.
It is really a quick week. So you currently, right now, as we're recording this, you're packing for your annual Mexico retreat, solo version. But as this is being aired, you were already there and you're at day 3. Right?
Right. We open on Saturday evening.
Right.
First big teaching day is Sunday. And then Monday is, we'll be hiking when everybody gets this in the morning.
Very nice.
We're hiking.
Punta Gorda.
Yes, right along the Sea of Cortez.
Gorgeous. I was looking at this like hiking website. So many people had given it 5 out of 5 stars. So
we've never done that, so I'm excited to do that. Yeah.
Right. And I just came back from the holidays last week when we last, spoke. I had not been feeling great. I had a sore throat and I jumped over to get a COVID test. Well, I guess struggled to find any appointments available, but finally found a place to go get a COVID and a strep test. Both were negative, so I got the green light to drive out to Ohio and visit family for the holidays, which was wonderful. I got to see both sides of my family. I got to laugh and catch up and, eye roll at the whole, funny scenes that were going on that have been going on for the longest time. So I feel definitely fulfilled. I feel the holiday spirit has put that stamp of approval on, the festivities. And yeah, I'm coming back with some nice stealing Santa presents that I'm excited to work with. One being a Turkish towel for the beach. So once the weather gets better.
It's my favorite color, like a yellow mustard gold.
Yes, and it's a beautiful design. And I was so excited to, gift people theirs. You sent me as your, Santa's helper, where I got to go pass around all of these beautiful face creams and jojoba face creams, and then the handmade soaps. And those were
the
pacha soaps. Those were decadent. They actually made the car smell so delicious on the way down. But yeah, so and then my sickness started kind of progressing, and I tried keeping my distance. I wasn't, hugging and kissing on everyone. I just, I still had fun. I still enjoyed. And yeah, now I sound worse than I feel. So that's the update with me.
Right.
So,
and you and I are literally washing our hands. We got different hand towels.
I've been wearing my mask all day except for now because it would muffle and rub against the mic.
You brought me zinc.
Yes.
So that I don't have. In
but
fact,
you need to take another one.
We were not going to see each other before I left for the retreat in between Christmas because I decided not to go to Cincinnati, which rare in my 65 years.
Rare. I mean, the only other time was last year, and one time because
I was working for the Bulls, and we had a
Christmas
Day game, and I needed to work for the Bulls. And
so in 65 years, you haven't been there for 3.
In 65 years, yeah.
Wow.
But this one was because I didn't want to catch anything with 27 people getting together in a in a big house, but still small.
But then also going out to their other sides of the family, visiting, and then coming back the next day. It
was too risky for me when I take on a retreat such as this, or such as my retreats. I hold these as priority. Not that they're over my family, but they're over any situation that I would not have control over.
Right.
So the only control I had with keeping safe and healthy was not go at all.
Right.
So I had to make that. Took me like 4 days of reckoning before I made the decision. And I called my mom, and was just teary-eyed and crying.
And that's some of the hardest things. Once you get over that hump of telling mom, it gets a little bit easier.
And my brothers and sister, and that was cool. And we Zoomed, and I at least got to see them. And I bought a big bottle of champagne, and I said I had my book out. I had my Grain Brain book out that I had prepped some Christmas dinners menu, Christmas Eve menu, Christmas Day menu, just for myself and me and my other mouth of overeating and enjoying every morsel of it. And I've got some new recipes I want to share with you, Alex. But I really did enjoy myself. I really did. I don't really care so much for Christmas movies, but it's what I did.
That's so great.
I did work though.
During the Christmas
Not
movies?
during the movie, but during the day. And then I watched Christmas movies, and that was enjoyable and different for me. So, yeah, I had a nice time. You know what? Here's the thing. And I don't know if it's just because the older I get, I just find satisfaction in so many ways that I never did before. And I don't know if it's me just finding my true calling of astrology. If it's astrology has found me, and you don't have to be an astrologer for astrology to find you.
Right.
Just to be in communicado with somebody that does know it. And I think that maybe has fulfilled so much of what I yearn for that I don't feel like I miss anything. Right? I don't miss anything. I am complete and whole here.
Right. And in who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that is a definite gift from astrology because, you're not an empty wheel. You're the whole thing.
I'm not just the spokes.
No. And you're not just the planets. You're the space in between. So absolutely, I can't even believe this episode is kind of winding down, but is there anything else that we want to share?
No.
So we are going to speak to you all next week. You'll get an update on Sandy's retreat. How did it go? Tell us some stories, and I will give you some updates on my travels to Mexico. So until we get to talk to you next week, have a wonderful week, everybody, and we will see you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
And so you finally know you control where you go.